Yo, what's up? Today we're going to be looking at the various foodstuffs and dishes shown in ReZero. Why, you may ask? My answer is, I thought it'd be fun given that it's far from the main focus of the show, yet we still get to see some interesting clues from their existence. Starting from square one, from zero, we begin at the fruit merchant, Karaman Riche. Much of the base fruits and vegetables have moderately altered names, this being a reoccurring theme, but I'll make a greater note of it later in the video. As we all know, appas are the name for apples, and in Japanese it's ringo to ringa. But there are loads of other fruits too, such as pepirs for peppers, tomatos for tomatoes, lemons for lemon. Admittedly, some of these are goofy like watermelon or orags for oranges. Honestly, not sure if I'm pronouncing some of these correctly. Choris, bananas, peaches, pears, strawberries, all grown within Lagunica, suggesting diverse climates within the nation. We also have some other fruits unique to ReZero, such as boko fruits that are used in Arc 2, that can help users with mana production, as well as fennel fruits that haven't been mentioned in the anime at this point. Moving on from the myriad of fruits within Lagunica, we have salt for salt, peppa for peppers as in the spice, rads for radishes, and strangely enough, the name for potatoes remains unchanged. You can never go wrong with a potato, I guess. Going to some of the more proper dishes, of course we have to start with Rom steamed potatoes, which is the only dish that Rom can prepare. No wonder they got Frederica back immediately after Rem's disappearance. Also in Arc 2, we have what appears to be a potato soup that Rem prepared. Don't be fooled though. Although potato soups sound quite bland, it's actually very good, especially if you add bacon atop of it. Staying within Arc 2 territory, we have a newly introduced food from Subaru, mayo. To clarify, this isn't the American type mayo, rather it's the Japanese version, which uses some different ingredients and excludes egg whites to give it a more yellowish tinge. Going to the end of Memory Snow, much of these foods are pretty hard to identify, but going off this image, this dish appears to be fried chicken. This one appears to be crackers with some sort of fish and cucumber. I'm not really sure if there's saltwater fish in ReZero, given that most of the bodies of water are freshwater, and there's no oceans. These appear to be dumplings or perhaps pierogies, but literally almost every culture on Earth has developed dumplings at some point in their history. Skipping to Arc 3, we have the all too famous hamburger, called ham bulgars, with the Hamburg steak originating in Germany. The invention of the hamburger sandwich is very much American. The appearance of it in the show looks extremely modern as well, with a sesame seed bun, sliced cheese, and lettuce to boot. For Arc 4, I'd talk about the rice pilaf, but it doesn't really count now, does it? Now for the major banquet at the end of Arc 4, I can't really name most of these foods and they're pretty ordinary, so I'm gonna skip over them. Now landing finally at Arc 5, where we're caught up with the anime, there are a ton more unique names for dishes that originate on Earth. Bamu Bemu being one of the names for Baumkuchen in our world, which is a German roll cake popular in Japan. Another pastry is sawadie, that Garth and Mimi snack on, which appears to be some sort of cream puff. Moving on to the night feast, we see many Japanese-inspired dishes, notably hot pot and sashimi, to which Subaru eats with a fork. This is the right way to eat this. Sure dog, but I don't know about that. Beatrice eats wasabi, but as far as I know, they don't offer a unique name for it in the show. To finish off with the foods, we land at Dai Sukiyaki, which is the ReZero world's name for okonomiyaki, which basically means the same thing in Japanese. To conclude, I'm really interested behind the formations of these fruits, and as well as the other natural/uncooked foods. Lagunica has existed for more than 1,000 years up until this point in the story, and I consider this country to be around the first industrial revolution, so it wouldn't be much of a stretch to say that these fruits have been long domesticated, so they wouldn't appear as they do in many Renaissance paintings as older forms of fruits. I mean, I know many authors wouldn't think about the domestications of fruits and foods in general, but what intrigues me about ReZero's world is that evolution, even for conscious beings, is very interesting. What my perspective is based on the information from the short story Battle Ballad, skip to the time shown on screen if you haven't read it yet, is that Stride's description of the world as a stage to be quite a literal one, with set pieces and characteristic food items like apples, potatoes, yams, and the whole lot. It is only after this that the world started to develop independently. Although I may be wrong, so yell at me at the comments. Just kidding, don't yell at me, because I'd like this to develop into a healthy discussion. I'm really interested into how Tappei will tie all this stuff together. Of course, he's not some sort of god or any way perfect. So, if something like this, like the food of ReZero and its nomenclature, ends up not being important, I won't mind too much. Although Chenkov's gun is very much an important approach to literature. Not all encompassing though, as it can be pretty vague when applied, because obviously something like an altered nomenclature can build up an atmosphere. It honestly is most likely a hint at an important influence though. Take a look at Amelia's usage of older phrases, which hinted at her origin of being frozen in time for 100 years after the witches cult attacked Elio Forest. Also here, I want to settle the score with myself from an early video. I analyzed the technology of ReZero's world, but I missed out on a crucial piece of evidence that I was going to include, but forgot to. That being the fire escapes on Kiritaki's building. Fire escapes are an extremely modern, late 1800s safety installation. The Gunica and Kararagi are very much not in the medieval era. Not the Renaissance either, but the Industrial Revolution. Especially given the style of architecture, which appears very modern. Not as in modern as in now, but much more recent. This also corroborates with other technologies that I discussed in these two videos, and the style of clothes that the characters wear. Alright, I think that settles it. Thank you for watching. I may not be the best at analyzing things or putting them into words, but I feel as though I have something important to bring to the table. If you like how I talk, how I write, or how I analyze, I recommend subscribing to the channel. Also, this channel is a team of two, with me and my co-narrator Brett. He makes some amazing videos as well, so you should check him out. Alright, bye.